Hey guys, so we're getting some Sandbox updates and HCS stuff for the next season. No, not season. Kind of operation. It would be season, but they changed it. So for the next update, that's the word I was looking for. So the Disruptor, let's start off with that. The new Disruptor will have its damage over time effect back. So when you would do like 3 shots and then it would do like shock. So now it's back, but now it has to be 4 shots. So on 4 shots, it's gonna like super combine and do like damage over time. This is good, especially with the new networking model. And if the player is able to put 2 of those super combines, if you will, which is like 8 shots, then they'll be able to secure a kill with a damage over time. So damage over time returns, 8 shots to kill, 2 super combines. Remove the particle event from event 1p loop, whatever that means. So I guess it's the particle effect is less intrusive. The upper damage bound has been decreased from 70 to 35, and the damage over time will not continuously cause descope. So the Bandit is getting a little bit of a nerf, the Bandit Evo and the Bandit. The rate of fire apparently is decreased. This thing says rounds per second from 2.9 to 2.715, so it's going to be slower. But it says that there are improvements to the red reticle headshot accuracy. So that's a little bit of a buff there, but still a nerf. So the Sentinel beam is also getting changes. It's going to do the same amount of damage, irrelevant of the distance. There was like a damage fall off if you were further away, so now it's just going to be the same damage, but there's going to be no headshot capabilities. So they say it should be more consistent, and basically it improves the feel of the Sentinel beam by tuning its damage output to be more consistent, increasing the base damage, removing damage fall off, increase damage lower bound from 0 to 3.5, decrease damage upper bound from 4 to 3.5, remove the headshot multiplier, and disabled feature flag can cause headshot, decrease headshot damage multiplier to 220, so no headshots. Now, the Ravager. The base Ravager is getting buffed. Previously, you needed 6 shots to kill, and now you need only 5. So, 2 bursts deals 3 shots, right? So now it's 5 direct shots to kill. It'll be better to use now. 5 shots, 5 instead of 6, increase damage lower bound from 20 to 30, increase damage upper bound from 20 to 30. The assault rifle is also getting a type of buff, but it's not probably what you expect. So previously, when the maximum bloom was reached on the assault rifle, some of the shots were trending on the edges of the bloom reticle. But now, whenever you shoot, the bullets can be pretty much anywhere inside of the reticle, so it's going to be more accurate. The minimum error angle high is from 0 to 0.25. The maximum error angle low is from 0.025. The maximum error angle high is from 2.1 to 1.3. The Skewer is also getting a buff. It's basically faster now, so instead of you can use more shots, basically. So the reload is from 1 to 1.2, and reload while empty is 1 to 1.2, like the speed scale. So they made the Spanker sort of more consistent without leaving the players with like barely any health, apparently. So that means that the damage fall off feels more consistent by adjusting the fall off function so players are not left with a sliver of health. The outer damage radius has been adjusted, so it's lower radius high from 3 to 2.5, and the ammo reserve has been increased from 6 to 8, so now you can have up to 8 shots with a Spanker. The sniper is also getting more ammo from 20 to 24, which is good. And the Bulldog as well has from 21 ammo to 28 ammo, so I like that we're able to get more ammo in these weapons. Thank you, Free for Free. They're making changes to the legendary weapon variants to some of them, and guess what, guys? the Ravager rebound is no longer going to be useless. Yay! So now the charge up shot of a Ravager is going to be instant kill if it hits the enemy directly. So if you can bounce it into an enemy and it hits, the enemy will just die. Also, the pool of damage will now increase, so it's going to do more damage. And it's going to be way deadlier. And finally, thank you for free. We needed this. So the details. Primary fire will now explode on direct player impact or bounce off on Geo and explode. So the rounds per second will be from 2.1 to 3. Fire recovery time from 0.476190 to 0.25. And the empty recovery time will be the same as I just said. I don't want to say it again. Damage lower upper bound is from 130 to 100. Damage upper bound from 130 to 100. The primary fire will now fire one projectile, and added firing parameter changes to shot per fire. Shots per fire from 3 to 1 instead. So it won't bounce like 3 of them at the same time, they'll just do one. Charge up shot will insta-kill on direct hit. Damage lower bound 20 to 300. Damage upper bound 45, 45 to 300, 300. Increase the damage of charge shots AoE. Radius 0, 0 to 0.3 and 0.95. And the AoA core radius from 0 to 0.3. And added impulse to primary fire effect damage. Instantaneous acceleration 2.9 to 1.25. I don't know what all those numbers mean, guys, but it's going to be way better now. So the impact Commando is also getting better. It's going to be more consistent with when bloom is in full effect. So basically, reduced bloom, lower bound deceleration time from 28 to 0.2146. Upper bound deceleration time from 28 to 0.2152. Adjusted impact Commando's rifle aim down sight transition times. ADS states enabled fraction 0 to 0.3. TC transition in fraction 0.8, 1 to 0.5, 1. ADS scope swap transition fraction 0 to 1. Magnification 1.4 to 2. Magnification profile setting 1.4 to 2.5. So that's the last one was in like settings, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be more accurate, I guess. So that's a welcome change. So the Riven Mangler is also being changed. They thought it was too sluggish, and I think I agree, so it's going to fire a little bit differently. So it's going to have a faster rate of fire, and it's going to output more damage, leaving enemies in the respawn screen. So basically, instead of 3 rounds per second, it's going to be 2.0875. So the fire recovery time is 0.75 to 0.3. Empty recovery time is 0.75 to 0.3. Soft recovery fraction 0.35 to 0.4. Reduced gun kick. View kick deceleration timer from 0.0 to 0.45. Faster cleanup on projectile effect. DET timer 3 to 1. So I'm not entirely sure what some of these mean, but I'm guessing, well, it's going to be much faster and stuff, so that's going to be interesting to check out. So the volatile skewer will have better accuracy, and it will follow the same trajectory path as default skewer. Also, to reduce any clunkiness with the reload speed, you'll be able to reload faster. So the trajectory will match a default skewer. Air gravity scale from 3.25 to 2.125. Initial velocity is going to be from 90 to 120. Increased reload speed. So the reload playback speed modifier will be from 0.1 to 0.03. And the same with empty, 0.1 to 0.03. Increased damage. Increased damage upper bound from 190 and 190 to 280 and 280. Now the Stalker Rifle Ultra. It's gonna have more damage now, so it'll be able to do the perfect kill in 3 shots only, matching its base version. So 3 shots to kill instead of 4, the headshot multipliers from 3.25 to 3.5, damage lower bound from 53 to 80, damage upper bound from 53 to 80. Increased rate of fire addressed the jamming concern, so fire recovery time 0.265 to 0.25. Empty recovery timer, the same. Adjusted aim down sight transition time, so TC transition in fractions 0.2 and 0.2 to 0.6 and 1. Magnification will be from 1.5 to 3. Magnification profile setting 1_4 to 3_0, and I think that's 1.4 and 3.0. Zoom transition time 0 to 0.2. Honestly, all of this is making me wish they would update this in campaign as well. That would be good, I think, right? These sound better. In campaign, they kind of suck, some of them, so this would be good in campaign too. So now the Unbound Plasma Pistol will fire 3 projectile shots per primary trigger pull, as well as having the EMP back on that. So it will now fire 3 shots per fire 1.1 and 1 to 3 and 3. Fire recovery time 0.1 to 0.033333. Yeah. Empty recovery time the same 0.1 to 0.03 periodic. Soft recovery fraction 0.620. The primary fire is more accurate. Guided angular velocity random range from 5 and 15 to 150 and 150. Guided angular velocity at rest from 15 to 40. Increased heat resistance. Heat loss per second modified from 0 to 3.75. Charge shot now EMPs. So side effect change from none to EMP. Enabled feature flag use EMP behavior. Charge shot slightly slower but more accurate. The initial velocity will be from 40 to 30 and the final velocity from 40 to 30 as well. Guided angular velocity random range from 0 and 0 to 250 and 250. Guided angular velocity at rest from 0 to 80. Charge projectile shots. Now the charge shot now shoots 8 projectiles. So from 6 projectiles when charged to 8. So it's going to be more accurate. It's going to fire more for the primary fire, and the secondary fire will fire 8 shots as well. Hopefully people won't miss as much, and it's going to be interesting using it. The Flex Fire Sniper, it's basically going to have a little bit of a buff. So added animation modifier block elements to barrel configuration and increased ready initial playback modifier to 0.3%. In other words, you'll be able to just, pick it up and shoot faster. So grenades are also getting modified. So the impulse from frags, plasma, and spec grenades has been tuned. The physics have been tuned. So you can grenade jump now. And if your Spartan is grounded, you will not be impacted by the impulse. So you have to be jumping, by the way. So the frag grenades have impulse added to them. Instantaneous acceleration increased from 1.75 to 3.5. Grounded player acceleration scalar decreased from 1 to 0.1. Plasma grenades added impulse to plasma grenades damage effect. Instantaneous acceleration from 2.15 to 3.75. Grounded player acceleration scalar 1 to 0.1. Added impulse to spike grenades AOA damage effect. Instantaneous acceleration from 1.25 to 3.25. Alt instantaneous acceleration from 2.75 to 3.75. Grounded player acceleration scalar from 1 to 0.1. So the ghost is getting a bit of a nerf. So they basically made it so the health for the right and left wings of the ghost are less. So 0.085 to 0.075, the maximum vitality percentage base value. There's a decrease to the ghost reverse speed from 5.5 to 3.5 for the maximum speed, slowing down the ghost lateral movement from left side and right side from 5.5 to 4.5. The slide acceleration direction decreased from 10 to 5, so it will be harder to splatter and maneuver a little bit. So the Banshee is getting a buff. One of the ways they wanted to do this is by reducing how much damage the Banshee takes when scraping when colliding with surfaces and adjusting the weapons on the Banshee. So here's what it has. Moving forward, the minimum velocity for game damage from 2.88 to 11.52. So, and the minimum velocity for absolute damage 2.88 to 11.52. So that it needs to take more damage to take damage, kind of, when scraping with surfaces. Using boost, the minimum velocity damage and the absolute damage is also from 2.88 to 14.4 on both of these. Increasing the damage of the Banshees from lower bound 29 to 40 and upper bound low and high from 29 to 40 as well. Faster recovery time for the Banshee bomb, so from 3.25 to 2, and increase the projectile velocity from initial velocity 15 to 20, and the final velocity from 12 to 17. So it's going to be, the Banshee bomb will be much faster now. Adjustments made to Banshee left and right rolls. So when you roll, velocity preservation change trick relative to instead of world relative. The camera extrapolation time from 0 to 0.4 seconds, and trick exit displacement reference 0.5 world units to 0 world units. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but apparently it's supposed to make the rolling with the Banshee better, so hopefully it'll be, because Halo 5 had some good rolling and Infinite does not, so hopefully it's better. So yeah, guys. So this is it for the Sandbox update. Thank you guys for watching and listening if you've made it this far. That was a long one, wasn't it? Anyways, update drops soon, so hopefully it'll be fun. Unfortunately, no changes to, no additions to the Sandbox, like new stuff, so that still sucks. But some of these changes were nice, and I kind of wish they would update campaign with some of these changes. So, bye guys!